cause I'm on, 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 cause I'm on. Oh, oh, wipe me up, wipe me up, cause I'm on, cause I'm on. Oh, look at that boy. That boy is mean. To the east, to the north, to the south, to the west, to the south, above, below, and in the middle. Ooh. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on. Huh. Don't know who that is. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on. Oh. Went out of order. That's alright. They all like to play. Heavy. The power of Argonite will propel you. The power of Argonite will propel you. The power of Argonite will propel you. So just though y'all don't think I'm playing, I'm giving out these verges. This bowl got a big verge in the middle. So if you listen and that verge comes to you, well, you're pre-warned. Because we sending that thunderbolt energy to you, baby. Get them drivers moving, baby. You hear them drivers? Them drivers. Cause I'm on, cause I'm on, cause I'm on, cause I'm on. All right, you're heavy. You hurt my arm. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm knocking the skulls down. Oh. Replace that with that. And then put a skull up here. These skulls like each other. These two crystals like each other. All right. See how I sound? I was sounding good before, so I imagine I'm still sounding pretty good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm working. Let me see what the knobs is. All right. I don't really need these. Not really. Yeah, I like hearing myself, but I can hear myself and I see all my things are fine, so I should be fine without having to wear these motherfuckers. And just see the real me. How fly I can be. Well, if y'all didn't know, if you never watched before, this is the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I am your super funky host, Big Pontiac. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game created by the Hero Twins. But I'm able to relax and kick back in the galaxy because I am that one and only Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to the galactic patio that reaches from Big Eagle Mountain to the universe. And tonight, we are, get it all together, oops. All right. We have the Elliott Nest Brown Ale from Great Lakes. It's the best beer there is all year. I never switch to a Pilsner or a lighter beer or that malt liquor. You know, now they're trying to tell you that they call the flavored beer the seltzer beer. What do you think flavored malt liquor was? What was that shit called? Champale? What do you think Champale was? Do you think Champale that they sold in the 70s is any different from the sweet things they sell today other than they not making them out malt liquor anymore? They was able to make them out of seltzer. So pop them if you got them. Waiting for this bad boy to heat up. Take me to the next phase, baby. Take me. As you see, the way I'm dressed, the windows are open, the fan is on me. No reason to blow air this time. Even though it was damn near 90 degrees, I still loving every minute of it. So, pop them if you got them. We are the Luca, and the Luca is ready to deliver. Smoke them if you want them. It's rough, mate. All right. Let's see who's with me tonight. We've got... oh. I'm all crooked. All right. Shut him up. All right. Key, what is happening? The one, Aggie Pride. There we go. And my man, and 1,000 grand, all the way from the Ohio land, PJ Allen. Well, you know, I'm going to come at you tonight. I got some shit to bring on. I'm a come right out with it. What's happening in the Great White North? So without further ado, my first story. All right, it's old Super Bowl commercial. All right, I'm ready.
Victims of his excessive force reached settlements today for nearly $9 million combined. David Schuman joins us with the new body camera video of both violent cases, and we should warn you, this footage is tough to watch, right, David?
Yeah, Amelia, the world saw Derek Chauvin put his knee on George Floyd's neck. Tonight we're seeing he had used that maneuver before in 2 cases years before Floyd's murder. I spoke to one of those victims today who was 14 years old at the time.
Never know who you're dealing with until they show their true colors.
Former officer Derek Chauvin went to John Pope's house in 2017 for a domestic assault call. More than a half hour after arriving, he and his partner went to Pope's room.
You're under arrest, so stand up.
Then 14, Pope and his family have released this video for the first time.
Stand up. I'm not going to ask you again.
Chauvin comes in and hits Pope with a metal flashlight.
Can't touch me in my own house! Press down!
He puts his hand on his neck.
What'd I say?
Put your fucking back down! I'll get out explain to y'all. Ow!
Then Chauvin kneels on his neck for more than 15 minutes.
My neck really hurts.
Other officers in the room say nothing, except
You good, Shelburne? You need a break or anything?
Chauvin pleaded guilty to federal charges stemming from this incident, and Pope won a $7.5 million settlement with the city Thursday.
Wouldn't say behind me, but, it's one step closer, yeah.
The city also
$500,000. 7.5 million big ones. How much did the lawyer get? Because he didn't have nobody stepping on his neck. But yet he gets a cut. What do you think it's worth? Let's go.
also paid out more than $1.3 million to Zoya Code. Also in 2017, Chauvin dragged her by her arms during an assault arrest, dropping her head first.
Strong enough. Ow. That's how you gonna slam me on
Her head first.
strong enough. Ow.
Assault arrest, dropping her head first.
Strong enough. Ow.
During an assault arrest, dropping her head first.
Strong enough. Ow.
Her head first.
Strong enough. Ow.
Head first.
Strong enough. Ow.
Dropping her head first.
Strong enough. Ow. That's how you gonna slam me on the ground?
Yes,
That's how
Chief.
you gonna do me? Just like all the other black people, huh?
He then kneeled on her neck for nearly 5 minutes. Code's charges were later dropped.
Some of those things continue to haunt her.
Mayor Jacob Fry and recently hired Police Chief Brian O'Hara apologized to the victims, noting a culture that didn't hold Chauvin accountable.
I'm appalled at the repetitive behavior of this coward and disgusted by the inaction. I'm appalled at the
Culture that didn't hold Chauvin accountable.
I missed it. Doesn't this look like neo-Nazis? Look at this. Doesn't this look like neo-Nazis? Look at this. You wouldn't think that any melanated people would go on this melanated call. It really, for one young 14-year-old boy, they need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6, unless that's a family member. Really, it took all these Europeans. But look at this. Neo-Nazi, neo-Nazi, neo-Nazis. This is what we've had to deal with here. Look, it's okay. It's okay by them. They're doing nothing. They think that their guy, because it's a melanated person, is okay. Let's go.
Didn't hold Chauvin accountable.
I'm appalled at the repetitive behavior of this coward and disgusted by the inaction and acceptance of the behavior by members of this agency.
You can't just say it. And that means that when you see somebody do something that's not right, that should be horrible, that you have to stand by that decision.
Chief O'Hara says the department is destroying Chauvin's badge, never letting another officer wear his badge number. 7 other officers were named in Pope's and Code's lawsuits. 3 of them are still with MPD. As for John Pope, he's now a student at Concordia University and working at a bank. He told me today he will not let what happened to him define him.
All right. Thank you, David.
Well, what do you guys think about that? That has been the latest news from the Great White North. Let me shut y'all up. So I did want to get that out today. That was the biggest story around here. That's the first big story around here. Let me just tell you about my day today. My day was really interesting. So I can read. Let me see. Okay. Kind of like that, though. I think we'll go on that next. Yeah, we'll do that next. All right. Dr. Sinister. What is happening, Dr. Sinister? What's his badge number? Oh my goodness, I would have to bring that back up. I do not know. I do not know what is his badge number. I do not know. But that is interesting that they said they getting rid of it. So that is very interesting. And I spent all day in the city. as I told the story of my ex and her exploits, she got a new place. She got her Section 8. You know, she's 50, 49, I think. Yeah, she's 49 years old. So she got her Section 8 at an old place, I guess, or someplace anyway. And I talked about her escapades on getting in trouble with her man and, her ending up in jail. Well, she got a new place and she gave her old place to my son. So my sons are continuing to rent her old place. And they live what's interesting is when I first moved here, my mother and her man at the time was like, they only knew one place to play ball. So that was the only place I knew. And it's called Lauren Park. Now, what's funny about Lauren Park is, everything's funny tonight, but Lauren Park is where the gay parade starts. Like all the booths and shit be in Lauren Park. And it's technically I've been coming here since, first time I came here was summer of 86. Yeah, summer of 86. And in the summer of 86, so I've been coming here since then. So that park has always been considered the gay park. But when I first started going there, dudes was hooping. It was like a great run. I was going there hooping all day. And it ended up, I met a lot of my future friends. Cut into one dude, and then the one thing led to another. I knew the places to hoop. But yeah, that's what it's called. It's called the gay park. But anyway, my point is about it is, it's funny that, like where they live in the city, and this is south of, I guess, the Target Center. My son literally, where he used to live was he lived downtown. So 10 minutes from the Target Center, maybe. 10 minutes maybe from the Target Center. But what was interesting when I helped them move, because again, I've hurt my back, so I really can't move too much. I did a little work for them, but mostly what I did was just sit in the truck. Like I did so much. And that's the interesting thing is, when I was helping them move, they was arguing and shit. I went and sat in the truck and started listening to my phone and shit. And these niggas moved some shit. They moved some shit. So it was that dynamic. So there's like, when I was there helping them, I was in the way. But them two together, and they moved in. So we got them in. And it's funny, I'm taking my friend's partner. My friend's been with his partner for 5 years. And I was taking him back to the U-Haul, and he was like, well, I guess I got to take this bus and that bus to go home. They said, yeah, I got enough money. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't think I'm going to take you home? It's 10 minutes out my way to take you back home. So I had to go back in the city and go back. Now, this is the interesting thing about being in Minneapolis. I wasn't there long. Again, they were emptying the truck. I'm just hanging out because I wasn't really moving no shit. I just drove the truck for them. They couldn't drive the truck. Their mama didn't have enough confidence, so they got the truck. I drove it. And I swear, I'm quantifying, but I was sitting there and I heard 15 shots, like pow, pow, pow. Because the first couple shots, you wonder if they're fireworks. But again, they pierced the air a little differently. And it was like 15 shots because I counted them. And then next thing you know, I started hearing the sirens. And when we got ready to take the truck back, to go back, because we got to go back to Penn to Broadway, and then I go out to hit 94. But anyway, it was a cop that had blocked the street off. So it wasn't far. I mean, I heard the report, but I heard the report of, the shots pretty quick. I mean, it was close, it was pretty close, like blocks. Not even that, the shots I would dare say was 2 football fields away from me, which, that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It was very close. So I was like, dang. And every time I go to the city, I feel like I don't take enough guns. Because I had to stop and get gas to fill up. Because, when you take the U-Haul back, you got to put as much gas that was in it. So I do this. And then me going home, I needed gas going home. Because I damn near just went the same route. Like me going back, me taking this nigga home, I had to go the same route back to take him home to come back, if you understand. Whereas it's been easier for me to just, because where it was on the south side. So that's a lot closer to me, going south. So But of course, you know, he's family, and I wasn't gonna let him take buses and shit, so I took him back home. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, OTF. Thank you for joining. Ooh. Inside my city. Okay. So yeah, you know, so they have a lot more room. Oh, but my point of being downtown, you know, where they stay downtown, it ain't no grass. There's not any grass. There aren't even, you know, some cities put little tree. There's no trees. Now this park I'm talking about, and that's probably why they put this park, because this is a concrete jungle like a mug. And it's funny downtown. You wouldn't think as much low income housing would be downtown as there is. But this area, like where I went to the car show last week, from the convention center going over to Lauren Park, this is all low income area. What's interesting is I'm moving and this young chick like saw us moving and she's like, "Are you moving in?" And she told me pretty much that she was staying in efficiency. She's like, "Are these all efficiencies?" And my son's had a 1-bedroom. But again, why would I be interested in you? You living here in the jungle. I'm not Corey Holcomb. I don't need to be like that. And you know, I'll say this. I didn't dress for the occasion. I way overdressed. I'm wearing my new Jordans and all white shit. I'm wearing these is the shorts I told you I picked up, the Vancouvers. And I did pay a little more I wanted. I paid $38 for them, but they're the same ones as when you buy the other ones for $80. It's the same material, but they got the pockets in it. So don't get, what do they call it? Do not get it. I mean, if you want shorts without the pockets, then get the, what do they call it? Players fit or something like that? Because you can get the players shorts. The better jerseys, the better shorts is the ones with the pockets. The better ones is the ones with the pockets. So, so that was my day. But, you know, I got to spend it with my son. You know, I'm bitching and stuff because they trying to move during rush hour. But the way it worked out, by the time they got done filling the truck up, it wasn't rush hour no more. So it was kind of smooth. You know, I wasn't. But I'm like, you know, being bothered. But it's helping my son who needs a lot of help. Like it's hard when you with, like my son and his partner are like unpractical people, I guess is the best way to explain it. These dudes just will not shower and wash their clothes because they both kind of lazy. And then say that they moved into place and didn't realize that the place didn't have a washer and dryer. Well, you know what you do? You put it in a bag, and if you don't got a car, you get on the bus and you take it where you can wash the clothes. There's places all around like that. So it was kind of rough being around them where they're both kind of funky. And, you know, with the truck, there's these two funky people. And, you know, I smell like Sauvage. You know, I got all the Sauvage. I got all the Sauvage. Bubble bath, all that stuff. I'm just in Sauvage all the time. It's the best smelling stuff. Perfume, of course. But they was so funky. They were both like, and I'll talk about them because I'll talk about them to their face. They both, you know, when you get so funky where your skin smells sour, that sour funk. And like my son's partner was like really nice little Adidas outfit, but it stank. So my opinion was like, yeah, you look cool. But then when he came with me, he was like, oh no, odor. But I tell him that. It ain't nothing I don't tell him. But it's sad. My point is, it's sad to people that live downtown. There's no grass. There's no trees. No grass, no trees. I can't, you know, it's like, how do you communicate with nature? How do you ground? Like, how do you literally ground if you're not smart enough to go over to the park and put your feet in the grass? How do you ground in something like that? You can't. You can't ground in a concrete jungle. You got to go to somewhere where there's grass or sand or dirt. But to naturally every day be disconnected from the earth like that, unless you make an effort, I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. I never thought about it like that because I've never lived like downtown like that. where, you know, you just got an apartment, like one apartment building of low income. Shit, it was 10, 11 floors. And where the Somalians live, most of the Somalians live in one area. They put them over kind of like by the stadium over in Dinkytown. And I think that building is 21. And I've talked about that before. That had one of the nicest apartments I've ever been in, as far as view. And I remember it being $500-600 in the 90s. And it was like 4 bedrooms. And now some Somalian lives there. And it's a nice apartment that has probably one of the best views in the city. And they got probably Section 8 in that beautiful 4-bedroom crib. I mean, this place is not shabby. That top apartment in that building, it's the Mary Tyler Moore like looking building. If you remember, you look that up, they show a beginning shot. It's that building. And that building is nice. So, yeah, so they moved from like a 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom duplex, but it is in the hood. So I guess this is the way they explained it to me. The north side is the hood. The south side is the ghetto. Because the south side is kind of like this. You've got poor Europeans. So it's like you've got Lake Harriet, Lake of the Isles, all the rich Europeans. But then you go down and you've got kind of the working Europeans. You know, don't have quite the bread of the people living on these 2 lakes. And then you go further down, you've got the Indians that don't live on the reservations. Then you've got some Africans, and then you got brothers and sisters, and then you've got Mexicans. This is all on Lake Street where Floyd got killed, all that area. So that's the ghetto. So where Floyd got killed was the ghetto. Where the most melanated people live is the hood. So you learn something new every day. So yeah, but yeah, they have a lot more room. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Doing your thing while everybody else is doing their thing. This is something that has hit the market, and I think it's worth a listen. So I'm gonna let y'all check this out. Let's see. Oh, good, no commercials.
Based Fitness here in Oakland, California. And today I'm excited to talk with you guys about this nutrient-dense superfood that's been helping people for eons. Stay tuned to learn more. You want to know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about sea moss. Sea moss is a nutrient-dense superfood that helps you with your hair, your skin, your nails. It helps you with weight loss. It helps people with diabetes management, erectile dysfunction. There's a whole bunch of things that this superfood helps you out with. Now, the one thing about it is, for those people that know about it, they get it and they don't take it for long enough. So one thing I decided to do was create a sea moss subscription. Now, I know you might be asking, what are the benefits of this sea moss subscription? So the number one benefit is that you'll never run out of sea moss. When we'll put you on a subscription, it'll be a monthly subscription. I'll give you a month's supply of sea moss. That would be like close to an ounce serving per day. Now, the sea moss is something that once you take it for a long period of time, you get really good benefits of it. So that's why we decided to create this subscription, because one thing I noticed is somebody who's been selling sea moss for a long period of time is that people would get it and they would use it and they would get some benefits from it, but they would forget to reorder it or they didn't want to make it. I would like to take that hassle away from you guys and help you guys out. So in this subscription, you will get 1 bottle of sea moss, but let's just say you need a little bit more. You can also add more quantity to the sea moss. So say if you need 2 jars a month because it's for you and your family, we can accommodate that too as well. So all you gotta do is set up the frequency of your deliveries and we'll deliver sea moss straight to your door. We do offer a shipping option, but we only offer next day shipping. And the reason why is because sea moss is a perishable item and we wanna make sure that this sea moss gets to you right away, so therefore you can enjoy it. Best thing about the sea moss subscription is it is a convenient, hassle-free way for you to increase your health and vitality. You'll get sea moss delivered straight to your door, and it's something that you don't have to worry about. It'll consistently come to you right when you need it. So if you're looking for a convenient and affordable way to get sea moss, this subscription is right for you. You'll be able to get sea moss that's high in nutrient density and wonderful for your body delivered straight to your door. So make sure that you check out this subscription and sign up.
Well, that was a little misleading, but I guess the point of it is the point I got out of it is I'm not selling this shit, so I don't want nobody to think that I'm selling this shit. But the point that he made that people do is you have to be consistent to get the benefits from this kind of stuff. And that's what I like. Now, if you want to take that route in order from him, you know, I don't know who this dude is. This is my first time listening to him today, but it's like even taking She Legit. Most people would take She Legit and think nothing is happening. But one thing that She Legit does without one thing it definitely does is it makes the picture come in clear. I mean, it makes visions come in clear. It makes astral travels come in clear. It makes desire. I mean, it just clarifies everything like nothing else. And it's something that unless you practice all these other things, you don't really see the benefit from the folic acid. So I liked it because what he said is you have to be consistent with this stuff. Like this stuff here. You wear this every day, or if you just sit with it or you sleep with it, that's you have to keep. It's not like just you buy a crystal and boom. Very rarely are that many people sensitive enough to it. You have to work with this stuff. It takes time. And that's the same thing with magic. Yeah, that's the same thing with magic. And let me see. Yeah, and let me kind of... Yeah, kind of need the other book. But screw it. I'll go without it. There's a word I want you to be hip with, and like what they talk about. Okay, yeah, I can get into it. So it's the other day when I was talking about the magician's tablets. Let me see if I can bring those back up. And one thing as you study this stuff that comes up. Let's see. Whoop. Dude can't spell. And I guess I can just talk about it. I ain't really got to show it, but so what it really says is it talks a lot about correspondence. And again, correspondence is basically through a letter. That's what it means. It means communicating through something through a letter, basically. But when you get into the keys of Solomon, it talks about, and that's what this the magician codes talk about. So it's like the table of a table of magical correspondence is a list of magical correspondence between items belonging to different groups, such as correspondence between certain deities, heavenly bodies, plants, perfume, precious stones. Such lists were completed by occultists like Samuel Liddell, Matters, and William Wynne, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So, but so what correspondence really is when I start playing these vibrations, I'm starting to communicate with my higher selves. When you put out the precious oils, you're trying to communicate with something else. That's what the Zohar talks about. I mean, this book is full of I mean, if you really want to see how correspondence really works in a practical manner, and it's got a blood and stuff, but this book, it's directly how to correspond with an entity. And these aren't real entities. It's just, captured spirits, really. So that's what it is. That's why you want the parchment. That's why you have the candle that has smell to it. This all awakens correspondence. But this is something I'm gonna say. I'm thinking about this, and this is, you know, and this ain't really no diss, but in the way it is, it's like this. Okay. If you come to me and you say you from the flat plane, I have to lower myself and put myself in the flat plane to hear you. If you say you from Tartaria, or you say your people is from that, then I have to lower myself to be from that so I can understand you. Do you understand how this really works? I mean, for me to hear people, I have to put myself lower in the vibration that they're in so I can hear them. I have to lower my vibration so I can hear you. Because some of this stuff, you believe in it. You believe in it. And so because you believe, for me to hear you, I got to lower myself so I can understand you. Because if I don't lower myself, I can't even understand you. That's why I can be cool with so many people. But that's what I have to do to hear some of y'all. I have to lower myself. Because you're talking about ideas that's been blown away. I mean, this stuff, again, the rabbit holes will lead you. So you can show all these maps. You can show all these old buildings. And this is not a diss, but this is what it is. You have not achieved what I have achieved. And this ain't got nothing to do with ego. You are still chasing something that's not there. And when I heard Turtle Gang say, oh, this building was, come on. So the Dutch just came over here and they didn't write any of the pictures. All the maps they showed none of these big mansions. And I know I'm ego. I'm a little buzzed and I'm ego driven. But it's like, that's really, you know, I was thinking about, that's what I really have to do to communicate and hear to you dudes. I really have to like change the channel so I can hear you. It's like, you know, when you and I'm not calling anybody a child, but it's almost like when you talk to a child to understand the child, you have to put yourself in the child's shoes, in the child's vibration. And that's what I find myself doing. Is I have to put myself in a certain vibration to hear y'all. No, it's not any. I mean, I guess in a way is a diss, but it's just that's what it is. And this ain't something I came up today. It's like I've been feeling this for a long time. I've been knowing that, you know, to like common folks, when I deal with common people, like my daughter's mother's friends and shit, you know, I lower myself so I can hear them and I can relate to them. I can't be my highest self that I am all the time and right now. I have to really lower myself to hear what they're saying. And as I said, you know, you believe in Tartaria, I've got to put myself in Tartaria to hear you. So that right there tells you, if I can put myself somewhere else that ain't there, that should tell you something. And this is from experience. They will open all this up for you. They will let you dig into you. You know what they used to say is you dig and you can dig all the way to China. That's what the mind does. The more you look into this, the more it's going to reveal. But that's all. It's taking you, you know, it's taking you on a decoy, which is not the real thing. Because I've been friends with some of y'all for a long time. And when that shit came out in 14, 15, you guys wasn't talking about that shit. Isn't that funny? All these people was not talking about it when these neo-Nazis came up with it. That's who came up with it. It's neo-Nazis. Because Europeans understand they are not ancient. So they came up with a way to be ancient. That's what Mud Flood is about. It wasn't for you colored folks. It wasn't they stole nothing from y'all. These white folks, these Europeans came up with this to make them seem ancient. And now y'all running with their work, saying it's our stuff. It's, again, I hear you because I can put myself where you are. But you ain't up there. You know, you guys are staying at a certain level. And I see that's where y'all comfortable. I see a lot of y'all comfortable. A lot of y'all comfortable with this back and forth shit. You know, oh, he's this and his information is this and his. I mean, what a mature person just, what did Master P say? Just brush that shit off. When Tupac came and said, you know, raise your Glocks when you hear Tupac, what did Biggie say? That shit's fire. I ain't got to say nothing to it. That shit's fire. And I'm just saying, dig deeper. Talk to your higher selves. Don't talk to your popular selves. Talk to your higher self. As I just said with correspondence, what are you doing this for? Like when I hold this, you know, there's correspondence going on. I put the sounds to it. I put the smells to it. I mean, I can live where you say existed. I can live in that. You say this existed? Okay, I can go check that out. And it's just made. It ain't old. Now I understand that the movement of the movement of orphans. I can understand the possibility of trying to start everything over with teenagers. I can understand that too. Because the one thing that both of the mud flood people and the Tartaria people do is it makes the possibility that the illusion is not that old. And what we're saying is, okay, you're dealing with one illusion, but they got you chasing another illusion. If this life is an illusion, they got you thinking about another illusion. How don't you understand that? Because I know a bunch of y'all jumping on the bandwagon with this shit. You guys are. You jumping on the bandwagon with this shit. And we blew this shit out the water in 15 or 16. Because when I started attacking that dude down in Australia saying, y'all, that's some Nazi shit. That's Marduk Nazi shit. Yeah, the Max down in Arizona. Or excuse me, down in Australia. He's one of the ones, the mud flood people. And y'all ain't talking about him no more. Since YouTube removed him. Don't none of you melanated mud flooders say nothing about Max. When he was pushing that shit hard. Where the people from 15, 16 was talking about this shit? Where are you bringing them into it? And that makes our people look so behind. It makes you look so behind. It's got you thinking about something that's past. And I don't mean back in the past. I'm saying as far as research. Most real researchers have moved beyond that because they saw what that is. So you can make videos about me, you can do what you want, but I lower myself to hear that shit. And as I said, I'll bring any of y'all on. Y'all can bring all that. And you know what? To hear you, I got to go there with you because you're already there. If I bring you on and we talk about it, I ain't there until I bring you on. Then I got to be there so I can even hear you. Because if I stay where I am in this high vibration, I can't even hear you. What the fuck you saying? I would bring you on and we could barely talk because I couldn't even hear what you're saying. Because in this mind right now, this shit makes no sense. It's like been disproven. It's like, why you put, and see, you can write it for yourself. What you think and what you practice is what you live. So you live an illusion on top of an illusion because this is all illusionary. There's too many things that you can prove that it ain't really real. It's real and fake at the same time. What do you say in the Matrix? Yeah, your ass can get killed in it. But if you follow the right correspondence, the right magic, you can make it through it. So, you got some great researchers out there, but your research is being held up because you took the wrong fork in the road, buddies. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of that shit, never. Never will I jump on the bandwagon of that shit. Now, you guys are my guys. I'll have conversations with you, but this is how I feel about that shit. Because, you are misleading people that don't do research, and they rely on you to do research. And if they rely on you to do research, they think your research, you don't research at all. Not just favorable stuff. It's the same thing about flat and round plane. The flat plane people never admit that you have to start at a flat plane. That's what it is. It's a flat plane. It's not spherical. You are at a flat plane, 2D. That's what you're saying. If you're saying everything is flat, then that's 2D, everything. And the only way that anything, there's only above and under. There's no up and down. So everything has to be illusion to live on top of it. Ghost in the Shell, the movie with what's her name, married to Saturday Night Live guy. When she goes around that corner and they show the city right there. I mean, come on, they're trying to show you what it is. So you have to understand these concepts first. Let me see. There was something else that caught my eye. Let's see. And I'm definitely on tonight, but yeah, we can run it up. Any of y'all, we can run it up. I don't care what maps say, because all that can be fabricated, and more than likely is fabricated. And we can create history as we live now. Don't think we can't. Hey, any of y'all know what's up with Jamie Foxx? Did Jamie Foxx have an aneurysm and a stroke, or is this propaganda? I guess I lost it. 'Cause I'm on. Okay, we can move on from that. I think I got this going tonight. Oh, man. Woo! Where's the green line in this? Where's the green line in this? Whoa, hand of control. What would you guys think? You think it's a little sexual abuse going there? Who's in control here? Damn, dude must be really short because he's shorter than Prince. He's sitting down. Prince must be on his leg. I was about to say. They said what David Chappelle had the thing where he's riding dude, he's on dude's back. Because, Prince is about 5'5". And, Prince was so vain that Hills killed him. Hills gave him he's so vain because what is he, 5'3", 5'4"? Vain. Vanity killed him. Went through all that pain. Dance and shit, but that ain't what I'm looking for. I am looking for this. All right. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. This is in the Mississippian. This is found in the Mississippi culture. What you see is the rain god Shalak. And I don't have all my other books. Might be able to go grab. But this is Shalak. Well, damn, I can't find it. But anyway, this is from the Mississippian culture, and I'll look here, but this is Shalak, and this is found in Americas. But this is the Mayan omen god Shalak. So we know that the omen was into the Mississippi Valley. Again, we see the same work. This is Shalak, the rain god. Again, we see this. This looks like this could be from one of the Mayan codices. This is Mississippi copper work. And where did most of the copper come from? The giants that lived in northern Michigan. The giants that lived in northern Michigan pushed out most of the copper to almost the world. We find Michigan giant copper in Kemet because they can break it down and tell where it came from. Of course, I've showed this before. This is from Mississippian. He's wearing the sacred helmet. This is the one I wanted to show the other day. Now, what we have here is the Hero Twins. These are the Hero Twins. They were on some beautiful building. These are the oldest statues in America. These are the oldest statues in the Americas. These four. Now, what you see here is the Hero Twins, but you see their metamorphosis into the jaguar. You see? What you see is there's two cats. There's this one and there's another one that match the twins. So this is the jaguar consciousness, if you can feel me. Again, something very rare in the omen world is omen wood. Again, we're talking about 8,000 BC to 600 AD. So wood don't stay around, but they never tell you that they have omen wood because it's very, very rare, but it exists. It does exist. Again, we see all kind of melanated people in the Americas. So, and we know melanated people come in all different shades. It ain't one different set shade of melanin. It's many different shades of melanin. So to say the Africans came over, and these are all right here from Bonaparte. These are copies from Bonaparte, if that's how you say it. I'm sorry. This basically was done by Starface Flower's grandsons. This was their time. This is his kingdom. This is all Bonaparte, if that's how you say it. I'm sorry. One more. Okay. Now, when I talk about the omen and them destroying it, right here you can see where they destroyed. This is the first head found. And what she's sitting in is a big where they tried to destroy this basalt. And so this, if you ever see head number one, it's filled in with concrete. They try, this is what they was doing in, when Napoleon them knocking off them noses because they don't want you to know that melanated people are all around the world. So they tried to destroy this, but this is a very hard material and they had to give up because the technology they had to destroy it just wasn't there. And again, where are we? You take your bag with you. The Tsar, Astro, you got to take your bag with you. Your bag helps you get into your Kundalini. The rising serpent within you, the Kundalini rises up your spine. Papa's got a brand new bag. That's why the bag is there. And again, this is a incense of Starface Flower. Janich Kanich. This is him in someone's personal collection, but this is him. The Great Pakal. And we know, we've taken care of business in America. It's always been taking care of business that's always represented. Again, the Great Pakal, young and older. Young and older. See that? Young and older. Again, don't say the Americans didn't have hair and beards. These are type of braids. See, this is American stuff. Again, omen. Omic. The correct word is omen, with a beard. Gold in America. Whoops. Click me off of something. Gold. This is a melanated person, obviously. But this is gold in America. Again, how important the ball was. Hey, Sean. It's different when Sean's in the house. Here's the red ball Jets I was talking about. I know it's all over. I double clicked it. Yeah, I remember these. What is it doing? Why in there? What the fuck is it doing? I don't remember these. These are Converse made for Sears. I don't remember these. I don't remember Sears had their own separate Converse. Don't remember that. But why won't it let me show the red ball Jets? Won't let me show them. All right, screw it. As I said, the first battle of the Civil War, Bull Run, we did have an all melanated unit for the South that fought in the first battle of Bull Run. So the Northern soldiers, they hated the brothers too, because in the first time they faced the Federals, they faced brothers from the South too. So that is just a fact. But there were several other things. And this is the transformation. This is the transformation, being into the Jaguar. And I'll tell you, I've had the power of the Eagle and I've had the power of the Jaguar, and the power of the Jaguar is far better feeling. It's a far better feeling. I like the vision and everything, but damn, being able to smell everything 100 yards away, 100 miles away, I mean, that is just the bomb. I'm just in love with football. This is Doug Williams. Look at this perfect. Old time, how they told you be a stiff stand-up passer. Look at that. Perfect. What they taught Europeans, they put in him. And he had all the tools. Again, look at that. All the tools. Looking downfield. Couldn't scramble. Wasn't taught to scramble. Very stiff guy. But all the tools to throw the ball. Another one. All the tools, but couldn't scramble. And I've always loved Joe Washington's face mask. Extra long, 60s face mask. I've always loved that. No, not too many people wore that style. The longer ones. And Otis Taylor started this. The single bar with the 60s double bar. Now here, he has two single bars. I think this is Billy Cannon, won the Heisman. See, that's a single bar and that's a single bar. See how the way they're fastened on the helmet? See, they're two separate single bars. This is AFL, Billy Cannon. There's a movie about Billy Cannon. It's not why I put it. It's another one. Look at this skill. He's jabbing him hard as he can. And look at this movement. He's ducking this. Just the skill level. Of course, we see the Buddhas, the original Buddhas. The oldest pictures of the Buddhas. We know they're melanated people. Visual. The oldest pictures of visual. All right. What I was talking about, that picture from the copper from America, it's this god right here. This is Talak. Look at the nose. Talak, the rain god. You see that? See that nose over and over again? We see that nose. This later turns into the wind god, but it starts as the jaguar, actually. But you see that? This is the, it says Corsegus, but There's one more thing I did want to go over. Where's it at? Oh, okay. This is what I was telling you. If you, when they had the Omen statues of the hero twins, this is what's opposite of the hero twins. This is the manifestation. This is the correspondence of transferring into the cat. So you have the twins, the hero twins, but yet you still have their twin cats. So do you understand what they're trying to tell you? The transformation. Get another melanated person. Mask. Mask. That's how long they've been smoking in the Americas. You see that? The Mayans smoke weed. They smoke weed and tobacco. They're showing you. Europeans knew nothing about smoking. Right here. Done in the Americas. Tobacco comes from America. Again, talak. See the nose? Talak. Again, talak. Again, talak. Rain god. Corn god. Here's the corn god. Crystals. Crystals existed in the Olmec. They made their little statues, their figurines out of crystal. It's not why I saved this. This is, where did I want to go? These are the different gods. I don't know if I can make this any bigger. Let's see. A little bit. But these are the different gods. It corresponds to the days and the times. Ikado. My cards show this. Let me see. Talalak. You see that? Talalak. Talalak. I'm not sure. This is one of the codexes. It doesn't really say which one it is. I'm not sure about this one. Again, Talalak. Oh, this is another thing that we created in the Americas. This is called Mayan blue. Jay-Z tries to take credit for this, but this is called Mayan blue. They had nothing like this in Europe. Look at their old stuff when they came over here in the 14, 15. They had nothing like this. This was new to them. This Mayan blue is what it's called. This is the first picture ever of anything found. This right here. Again, the transformation. They didn't even know what this was when they found this. They sat on this for about 50 years. Didn't even know that this was a separate civilization from the Mayan. They call these Celts. This is Aztec. It's root. It's called Mayan. Maybe it is Mayan, but again, it's in the same of the helmet, the elder, the spools, chin strap. It's the same. Just somebody else earlier in impression. Come on, where is that kicker at? Oh, okay. This is full Talalak. The transformation, AD 3 to 9. See? The full transformation of the Talalak. The jaguar. Oops. Where was that? Was it here? I thought I'd throw this out there. This is Earl Cooper. And of course, you should know that's Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain played up here since when he was like 8th, 9th grade. In the summer times, they had a semi-pro league. Well, let's tell the whole story. Now, Custers, you know, is them peoples. So what was very big in New York was them peoples bought a lot of land and just had their own resorts. So them peoples had semi-pro summer leagues. They had summer pro league. And this is what they did. It was 6 or 7 of them near each other in New York. And they would give them jobs. Wilt Chamberlain got a job as a teenager at this place. So he played pro ball from like 9th grade until like his freshman year in college. He went down there every year. They'd give him a job, but his job was to play basketball. Bill Russell played on another resort. But I think this is Earl Cooper right here. I'm not sure these guys, but I'm pretty sure that's Earl Cooper. This is what I wanted to show you. If you guys aren't hip to Tony Franklin, do you know how cold it is in Philadelphia? Do you know how cold it gets in Philadelphia? And he kicked in Philadelphia on turf barefooted. This is Tony Franklin. Which was remarkable, I thought. Again, Paul Robeson, Fritz Pollard, the first pro black player and coach. Paul Robeson, he played NFL football too. This is Fritz Pollard. Both were All-American high college players, eligible for the Hall of Fame. Not sure who this brother is. Captain Levi Jackson at Yale. In 1948, he was the first to become the first brother to play on the Yale football team. Picture looks much older. Look how high David Thompson is over Walton. David Thompson, 6'3". He's 7 foot. Look at that. He's 6'3". 6'3". Look at that. This dude's 6'11", 7 foot. Look at that. In case y'all didn't know who's who, they're trying to tell you who's who in the Midwest. Trying to tell you who's who. Then we have Bright Bear, Jim Thorpe. That's not Pop Warner. That's Pop Warner, I think. Again, Bright Bear, drop kicking. Look at how fat the football was. See how fat? This is what made pro football. He made pro football. College football when he played was far outshine pro football. Literally, the end of his last game, they signed him to a pro contract. If he'd have been smart, he would have went originally with ownership. He didn't learn till later because he tried to play with the Bears and then he hurt his knee and he ended up winning a championship with the Bears, I think, and the Giants. And then he tried to start his own league. But from the very beginning, he should have went for ownership. And his family ain't got shit today. The Hallis family has everything. Even he made the Chicago Bears. He made the world care about pro football. This guy right here, Red Grange. All right, I'm gonna get off my pulpit in a few seconds. Oh, you know I got to show it. I need this in the house. Oh, ooh, what? What was all that? Oh, what is all this? Oh, I need that. $29 for one sticker? How many stickers you giving me? Sheet of 5, I'm about to say. God damn, for one sticker, dude. Oh, yes, this was on all the stuff. Oh, a whole page of it. Oh, don't you wish you were me? Don't you wish you were A&T like I did? Don't you wish you were Aggie? Don't you? Get away. Like Quantum of Science tried to say, well, you didn't even graduate from your college. But you know what? In the student union, there's a picture of me with the rest of my team and the big-ass trophy I won for winning the Gold Bowl, dude. So isn't that like graduating? Whatever college you graduate from, Quantum, is there a picture of you in the student union with you and the rest of the team? That's what I thought. Hell no. And maybe this is where that Connie Hawkins picture I was looking for is. Now look at this. This is the best picture right here. That Dr. J, this dunk right here was the best dunk of the night. This dude he balled up like a bowling ball, and he came out of this. His first dunk was a 360 baseline, and Dr. J did a stiff dunk from in front of the free throw line. This was a way better dunk. Look at his head. I mean, look at the creativeness. This is way more creative than a stiff dude copying Connie Hawkins jumping from the free throw line, which Connie Hawkins did at freaking high school. This isn't why. What is it? Okay, I was seeing if this was so that's Stanley Roberts, Mau, or Chris Jackson, of course, Shaq. This is where, okay, this dude intentionally hurt Gale Sayers. He passes out. He intentionally hurt him. And if you study him, you can tell he was a government agent. He ended up murdering somebody or getting murdered, but intentionally hurt Gale Sayers, intentionally went low. That was his job. Again, it's how bad they hurt him. It's how bad they hurt him. Now, I don't know if he wouldn't take payoffs or be fixed, but he was hurt on purpose. Look at this. I got his jersey. I'm old man, and maybe they'll say his name for me. But look at that. Now, this guy went into World War II as a door gunner. You ever see that movie called, I forget, where they are in World War II and they're flying a plane, the Flying Fortress? He was a door gunner at 16 years old. He went into World War II at 16 years old. Look at his hands. This is all from football. Look at that. And I know he suffered bad arthritis as an old man. This is the price we take. Chuck Benederic. He was the last two-way player. 1960 championship. I got this jersey. But look at that shit. And he ain't the only one. Look at others. Look at others. You don't think we suffer? But look at that. You don't think we suffer? Broken hands. There was something in this. Look at this. Bounce it off the elbow. Bounce it off the hip. You can get it in. When Columbus saw a ball, he called it the magic ball. The Europeans had never seen rubber. We are the one that introduced rubber to the world. And some of these are fake. They're put up later. They were knocked out and were put in. Because this wasn't the only way they was put up. This just shows you. This one's low. So it's not the only way. They don't want to show you. See, they show them sideways because they don't want to show you that basketball comes from this. That's why they put them up like this. Does it make sense to hit it off the elbow this high? Does that make sense? To hit it off the elbow, your butt, or your leg, to get it up in the air? No, it was always turned the other way. Now, it was both ways, though. I'm not going to say always, but it was both ways. Sometimes they played like this, but sometimes they turned it the other way like a hoop. I mean, look at the difference in the the roundness. See? So... Of course, I had this sticker book. You can get it on Etsy or eBay. I had this. I had the original one. Collected all the stickers. Every time you got gas, you got stickers. Not a very good picture, but that is Sweetwater Clifton right there. Marcus Haynes. Don't know anybody else. Well, they got let me see. Dickie Moore, Marcus Haynes, Bob Bowie. Baby Presley, Frank Washington, Sweetwater Clifton, and Goose Tatum. Oh, that's Goose Tatum right there. All right, let me see what everybody's saying. I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent. I'm on one tonight. Oh, I'm so behind. I saw Sean come in. That's what they're saying. They both had. He's in recovery, but they might as well be trying to get his ass up out of there. Yeah, good point. I remember Prince riding on a dude's back. Yeah. Ginger Jimmy, it's different when you come in. CWE always hits different when you come in. I always look like it was cold outside. Probably was. Twins smoked the Yankees. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Aaron Gordon got robbed twice in the dunk contest. I agree. He broke his finger. Yeah. Of course. Why do you think I came on so late tonight? I was watching the Vegas was playing. Oh shoot, I'm losing it now. Las Vegas was playing somebody, but I was watching that. That's what took me so long to come on. I am a big hockey fan. The Wild, God, I just heard who the Wild have to play now. The Wild, I heard who their matchup was in the playoffs, and please, I forgive me, I'm lunching. But the Wild are in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm a big hockey fan. As I said before, I didn't get to watch as much hockey this year because YouTube TV and this network dropped Bally Sports because they knew Bally Sports was about to declare bankruptcy. Bally is hanging on so far. They've shown the Twins game so far. They're showing the hockey so far, but we know that they're in bankruptcy and about to be bought. I watch a lot of hockey. My fiance hates hockey. She hates it. Yeah, the Twins look real good tonight. I agree. They looked real good tonight. He's wearing a different jersey there. They looked real good. If the pitching can hold up, they will be all right. They will be all right. Let me show this. I don't know if people understand what you're seeing here. This is two things. This is kind of this is what the most valuable player statue is of this. This no one had done this to this point. This is in the 52 or 53 World Series. And no baseball player had caught a baseball like this before this event. Willie Mays tells you how he studied Don Hudson because this is the perfect way you catch a football that's thrown over your head. And he was the first one to use the catching a football ability or technique. I guess this is the best way. This is the classic technique for catching a football. And he admits that he caught this baseball like this from watching Don Hudson catch a football. Because the one thing you do when you catch a football like this over your head. It's like this coming towards you, but over your head, you catch it like this. You lock these pinkies together, and that's exactly what you see in this picture. You see? He's bringing his pinkies together to gather that ball in because it's over his head. And now you see everybody doing this. You know, it's nobody thinks about it. But it had to start somewhere. You know, somebody had to do it first. Like, you know, Sweetwater being the first person to dunk in the NBA. It had to start somewhere. Oh, I guess I can, yeah. Love the face mask, the longer plain face mask. Loved it. John Mackey with the Chargers. And my man, look, the single bars, the single barred. This is a man that should be Otis Wilson. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Last I know, he's bedridden. He's got to be in his 80s. And we see the first Heisman Trophy sacrifice. Healthy young man here. Look how strong, how vibrant he is. Look here. He's dying. He's dying here, and you can see it in his face. Because all these pictures, they already gave him the leukemia death wish. But look at that. Bloated face. But he was a sacrifice. Yeah, well, look at the difference. Look how healthy this man is. Who can stop this healthy young man? We're only talking about a year difference from there. From there to here, we're talking about a year. And he's already had the death sentence right here. They gave him leukemia. They made him a sacrifice. Look at Daryl Griffin. Look at that. This is a championship game against UCLA. Look at that. Straight up in the air. Look at that. He's 18, 19 inches in the air, if not more. Look at that. Straight up. Trying to block a shot. This ain't even dunking. Look how high he is in the air. His feet is almost, look where his feet are. His feet is like to his hips. See that? This guy's only 6'2", 6'3". Look at that. His feet are to his hips. Just amazing. Just amazing. And of course, you know, the sacred ball game turned into this, lacrosse. No doubt. All types of lacrosse. So many different variations of it. This looks more like Takalina. I don't know why it's doing this, jumping around like that. But, yeah. There we go. Kind of like Takalina, just go for it. You just kind of go for it. Or they call it Smear the Queer. Remember that game? Takalina, that's what they used to call it. Still ain't found what I wanted to find. Don't know where I put it. Oh, well. Oh, well. Sorry, guys. I'm preachy tonight. Buxton is a problem when healthy. Yeah, if he can stay healthy. Yeah, OTF. If Buxton can stay healthy, and that's been his biggest thing, is he ain't been healthy. Even when he came back for, partial last season, they still, hung with him. They still paid him off. So. So, this has been a very productive day, though. That's what I was waiting for. Cool. You waited long enough, you son of a bitch. All right. That is cool. All right. Cooley High. All right. Oh my goodness. With the yawning and shit. Come on, boy, and see about me. Come see about me. See about me, baby. Come see about me. Gray has been dealing. Sonny Gray has been dealing. What's his name? The shortstop they gave all that money to. He hit a home run tonight, too. And I thought he was hurt, but he hit a home run tonight. So they're going to be decent. They're definitely going to be decent. But we'll see how the pitching holds up. Pitching held up tonight. He had a good game tonight. We'll see if it holds up, though. We don't know if it's going to hold up or not. So we'll see. I'm still up in the air if we're going to go to the game tomorrow night, because there's still tickets available. They ain't sold out yet. It's not tickets where I want to sit. It's all just upper seats now. Well, there's a few good ones, but I don't know if it's worth going tomorrow to a play-in game, Like already you seeing the merchandise cheaper and stuff. You know that right now on Fanatics, the Timberwolves merchandise is dropped in price. So that makes me think they're going to lose tomorrow. because looking at the merchandise has really dropped in price. Yeah, Carrera is always good. Yeah, but his ankle. There was, man, I'll tell you, when they was, he got rejected by 2 teams. Carrera got rejected, and one doctor said he had the worst ankle he had ever seen. So they was trying to cut his cash, but that's what the doctor in San Francisco said when he tried to make his deal in San Francisco. He said it was the worst ankle he'd ever seen. So he didn't get the bread. He got a lot of bread, but he didn't get the bread he thought he was going to get. He thought he was going to get a lot more bread. Oh, excuse me. This is a guy I knew. I can't say I knew, but I played against. This is Big John Meredith. Big John Merritt. Big John Meredith. Oh, he smoked a cigar the whole game. And this is Eddie Robinson, the Grambling coach. But this is Big John. I played against him 3 times. 3 times played against him. See his cigar? Look at that. Got his cigar in his hand. He smoked cigars while the game. My coach smoked cigarettes. This guy smokes cigars. My coach is in here. Let me see if this dude is in here. Big Greasy. Let me see if Big Greasy is in here. Let me see if I can find him. Let's see. So they got Big Greasy in here. No, they don't. They do not have Jim. Big Jim in here. I ain't spell his name right either. Let me see if I can find him this way. North. I'm a no typing somebody. It's dyslexia shit. It'd be like this shit all scrambles. Where's the end? T. No, that's not right. Why is it doing it? Okay. Okay, let's see if that it takes a hit. See if they put the old coaches in here. No, they didn't. Bunch of European coaches. Big Greasy ain't in here. I put in a black college and I get all these white colleges, these Europeans. Wow. Or should I start saying European Americans? I guess I should start saying that. European Americans? Is that what it is? Polish Americans? Let's see. I'm going to have to find a picture of Big Jim. It's funny, when I look at my football coaches and shit, this dude was only in his 30s, When I was in my 19, 20, he was only in his 30s. Should smoke blunts before games. Yeah, it'd probably be a lot easier on him. What's interesting is my coach Jim McKinley beat him because Jim came from Wilberforce. He coached Jim literally he played football at Western Michigan University. They won the MAC championship his senior year. He was a captain on the football team. Year or 2 after graduating from college, he starts coaching at Allegan High School and wins the state championship. This opened up the door for him to coach at Wilberforce. And what the hell here? Okay. And coaching Wilberforce, he ended up at A&T. But at Wilberforce, they played Tennessee State. And the first time Big John Meredith told him, they lose to him his first year. He's like, good job, young guy. You're getting better. Second year, same thing. Third year, Big Greasy was what they called him, beat him. Wilberforce beat Tennessee State. And the coach went to shake his hand. The coach had the cigar in his mouth. He grabbed the cigar out of his mouth and threw it on the ground and stomped on it. And, of course, at A&T, it never beat him. Because we played, like, Richard Dent and I are the same year. And we played Richard Dent 3 times, and we never beat them. And that goes back to my saying, we're playing a passing team, and we're playing 3 deep, y'all. Still don't understand that to this day. A passing team, and we're playing 3 deep, hoping we can blitz him. And all they linemen is like all our linemen, 300-pound dudes. It didn't make a lot of sense. You're relying on blitz too much. That's what I thought. Oh, did you guys? Now this is more propaganda. I don't want to give him that. Oh, propaganda. That's little black college history. HBCUs now. Like that shit didn't come until 2007. They made that up. HBCUs. It was called black colleges. That's what it was called since they invented them. They was called black college. And then they decided that black college, because African American, again, they want to get rid of black. They want to get rid of Negro. They want to get rid of colored. They want you to be African American so you have no standing. So they don't want to call it a black college. They got to call it HBCU. Historically black. Same thing. It's the same thing. So that's how they play, y'all. That's how they play. How long have I? Oh, man, I've been running my mouth for an hour and a half. I'm not trying to make enemies. I'm asking that you got to be higher. You got to be higher. You got to be on a certain vibration. And if you have your mind about certain things, you're going to stay in that vibration. That's just the way it is. You create that vibration for yourself. And you're not going to rise above it if you think that's the ultimate. If you think you're in a certain vibration, that's the ultimate, you're not going to go up from that vibration, because if you think that's the ultimate vibration, then you're going to stay in it. And you'll never evolve. And that's not how this works. This thing, you constantly evolve as you get older and you gain the knowledge and experience. And as you get older and older, the vibration keeps changing. Where you start caring less and less about this illusion. You look at it and you care less and less about it. That's why when people say, I'm ready, it ain't suicide. It's like, this illusion is, I'm done with this illusion. I'm not going to get anything else out of this illusion. And then they torture people. They make people live to 110. My fiance just showed me a picture of a lady 100 and some years old. And you could tell she was trapped. She was trapped. I've said this before, I was watching a dude in Asia somewhere. He's smoking, he was like damn near 130 years old, smoking fucking opium at 130 years old. He's trapped. That's a trap. Only the monsters want to live that long. And it ain't immortality. It's like they don't have a choice. When you're in a video game, it's forever. Long as the electricity go to it and there's a player to play it. That's how these famous people are. This is it for them. They have nothing to look for. When they die, they get sucked. Their energy gets sucked away like a vacuum. And yet you want to admire them. But they've sold what you still have. They've sold it away. They've given it away. They've made agreements. So you are more powerful than them. Even though you watch them on magic that you think means something, because so many people can see this magic. And that goes into the second Wizard of Oz, when he beat the witch because of, again, illusion. There is no technology in this world. It's all magic. And it's negative magic. The majority of magic we're under, the spell we're under, is negative magic. Some people call it the left-hand path. That's what dominates. That's the type of magic that's used against us. And they want to call it science and technology. But it's really magic. Type of magic. That's why I was saying the conversation. The comic books show you magic is stronger than superpowers. Why is that? Why would they show you that magic is stronger than a superpower? And they created the Superman. Why do you think that is? That's telling you that the illusion that they've created with magic is stronger than anything. It's the strongest thing you can imagine is what they're telling you. They're telling you that magic is the strongest thing you can imagine. Because even Superman is vulnerable to magic. If you break it down. You know, if you think about it and you break it down. Just breaking it up a little bit. Just breaking it up. I'm preaching to the choir. Hope I got enough color back there. You know, hope it's enough color, but this is my life. You know, see, you can see two of my altars. Well, I guess one is kind of cut off. You see what I study. And the room still ain't done. None of this is done. But still getting there. Still getting there. Still trying to bring it a little bit so you guys can understand. And not get lost. You know, there's so much rhetoric out there that it's easy to get lost in stuff. It's easy to look at some of the stuff and say, well, that's the way to go. I need to look at that and keep thinking about that. I don't ask for anybody to follow me. Don't follow. Pick it up. Pick it up. That's all I say. Just like all the people that have picked up basket manipulation and the crookedness in sports. Pick it up. That's what I say to everybody. Pick it up. And so that's what it's about. It's about you taking this information and you saying, okay, what can I look up that helps me? How can I hear what he's saying? And that's really what I try to do. I try to put everybody in a high enough vibration where you can hear what I'm saying. I don't try to take you down any agenda. See, some of these things are agenda. And they look at it as under history and research and saying it's my people. Okay, you want to be there? I'm up here. That's not an ego. It's just where I'm at. It's where I'm at compared to where you're at. Because there's always something out there that you can turn another page. There's always something out there where you can turn another page. You ain't turned enough pages, baby. And people forget, my brother is a master researcher. So if I don't know, I call him. Because when I get him on here, he knows way more than me because he's the master researcher. He has thousands of books. He likes the PDF and he has regular books. So you ain't going to come at both of us because we both got the answers. And this platform has attacked the shit out of him. Because they know who we are. They know what bloodline we come from. And that's where the attack comes from. And we accept that because we know when we leave, we're better off. We know who our bloodline is. We know we got this 1600 blood, 1500s, that we was here. And you guys know who we are. That's why you watch me. It's been shit. I go to the police academy and I'm finding out this FBI record since I was a boy. What the fuck? What was I doing as a boy other than my father was an agent? Why was an FBI a report on me, a file on me when I was a little boy? The fuck did they think I was going to turn into when my father was an FBI agent? My father was an agent. That's the way he made it, was he had to be a tell on people. He was rewarded being a city manager. They helped him with a little bit of education, but he was an agent. He's spying on civil rights groups. But yet he's talking Black Panther. He's talking Black Power. He's doing movies. This is the funny thing about my dad. And Spike Lee, what's the Crooklyn kind of laughs at his dad too. My dad was the same way. See, my dad has that what Sold on Ice called the Lazarus syndrome. See, when I talk about all these PhDs that was given in the early 70s, all these PhDs had European girls that was agents. All these black organizations in the 60s and 70s, when you started seeing European girls come around and fucking multiple dudes, these is all agents. This is how they attacked you, CONTELPRO. They sent these bitches in there. These white bitches in there, and they's all agents. These niggas is fucking and telling them all the business. This is how smart these PhDs. But this is where trophy white European wife comes from. These niggas really thought they had made it. They were successful because they had a European trophy wife. I could just remember my dad. It was like, this is a poor little boy that was embarrassed because his mama made him wear swim trunks to school. Here he is with his European girl. Now I have 3 children I have three baby mamas that was European. It was never a trophy to me. It was common to date European chicks. Now, not at A&T. Not at A&T, because there wasn't very many of them. I went 7 years. I boned 1 European chick in 7 years. Out of probably 100 chicks. 7 years living down there. I probably went through more than 100. But 1, and she looked like she should have been on the iodine bottle. Remember when she opened the door, I walked back. It was like somebody had punched me. She was so ugly. But when that Smith malt liquor bull is on your ass, you say, fuck what she looked like. I'll fuck Ghost Rider. Turn around. Because she had a head like Ghost Rider, you know, but just an ugly Ghost Rider looking chick. But that Smith Lager Bulls was saying, go for it. Take it. Turn around. What Teddy Penderson say? Turn him off. And I'm on one. I started saying I'm on one. I feel good. I've had a positive day. My energy is just going. I'm just saying, you brothers get misled. Y'all get misled by this stupidest shit, you know? And you sit here and you act like you serious and disrespected, but the reality is you ain't studied enough. There's more out there to study. There's more out there to experience. And you ain't going high. You ain't seeing none of that Tartaria shit in the Astrozone or the Tsar. Okay? You're not seeing none of these Tartarian fractals. Where are the Tartarian fractals? Oh, yeah. A lot of older melanated brothers feel like they get a white woman. Yes. They think they won. Oh yeah, she was. Oh, this chick was. I'm telling you, now this is what's funny is I hit her, got a quick one and ran. I was like, slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Then one of my boys was like, man, because it was like she had a roommate, and my one roommate was bumping her roommate. So I brought a couple other fellas back, and we was about to run a train on the Ghost Rider looking chick. But the other chick that just banged my other roommate, like the other guy I took over there. So she gave him some. I took chick in the dining room, and I had her on the table. I went back and got a little more. And then never saw the chick again. White women, they won. I opened the door. She was ugly as hell, but she had a round booty, and her pussy smelled like hell. But I got up in it. Anyway, shot it off in her. She started to pray. I ran home laughing. But I went back for round 2. I had her on the kitchen table. I told her when I was through. Never seen her again. She was ugly as hell. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun tonight. That's all it is. Having fun. And I never say I have the only answer, but I have some of the answers. And I don't try to mislead anybody. And I studied some of this stuff thoroughly. And when it was broke down years ago, and then people regurgitate it, because that's all you do is it's on this train for the last couple years, you regurgitating it. That's all you're doing. You're regurgitating something that was disproven. That's all you're doing. You regurgitating all you melanated people that have picked this up. And PNF was the first one that let me down because again, to have my full power as a time walker, I need to ally with Moors. And again, you know, all the good information, the researcher, there he goes. Well, look at this building. Look at that building. Why was that building here? Come on now. Come on. The World Fairs. They're hiding the World Fairs. How does this shit make any sense? Who cares? Well, you know, we came from a great society and they tore down all our buildings. You guys sound like idiots. I mean, you literally sound like idiots. Your research is trash. You lazy researchers. You wasn't researching this shit in 16, 17 when the shit was popular. Now what we from 16? 6 years later? And y'all talking about this 6 years later? So do you see how I look at it? When I broke it down then with that Australian back in 15, 16. Y'all wasn't talking about that. I've been friends with some of y'all since 15, 16. Turtle Gang, you wasn't talking about mud flood in 15, 16. I'm not going to mention no more other names. But y'all wasn't talking about that in 16, 17. 15, 16. Y'all wasn't talking about it when I was going after Max. Was y'all? Where was y'all then? I've been friends with y'all. Wasn't on none of y'all posts then. Let's go back to your posts. Was you posting about it then? All the Rob Bay, whatever that chick's name is, you wasn't talking about it then. You American Indian. Rob Bay, that's her name. You wasn't talking about it in 15. You just started talking about it in 22, 23. You dig? Bomber was another nigga was always talking about that bullshit. But Bomber saw that it was bullshit. But Bomber was on for a minute. He fell for it. But again, Bomber was talking about it back in 15. Now how long y'all been talking about it? Some of y'all been talking about this stuff recently. Like y'all just learned this stuff in the last year. And you know, my other channel was taken down and well, this channel's been up 2 years now, so whenever Biden, Tom Hanks took over. That's when they took my other channel down, that January. So you see where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about this from just, oh, I'm hating. I'm telling you, I broke that down years ago. Okay? So you welcome to come on here and we can talk about it. Any of y'all. Any of you mud flood people want to come on here. Any of you Terraria lovers. I've already invited you over. Come on now and tell me. That's the main question I want you to say is, why wasn't you talking about it in 15? Because you didn't know about it. And I've been friends with y'all. Turtle Gang, you gave me the time walking papers in 13, 14, baby. You wasn't talking about Terraria back then. I've been friends with y'all for some of y'all for a long time, and y'all wasn't talking about it back then when I was going after people about it. And now you want to talk about it. What's her name? Bay? Whatever your name is. Some Bay. That chick. You weren't talking about it then. I've been friends with you for years too. You just jumped on the bandwagon. The PNF, I only discovered him maybe last summer, so I can't say. But I saw him getting suckered in. And that takes away from me. Because I can't be a full-time worker until I find a Noble Moore. And I've been let down. I've been let down time and time again by Moors. Totally let down by y'all. Yet you guys have allies with the time walkers. But you too worried about scamming. Too worried about scamming. That's the majority of the Moors. Y'all too worried about scamming. We see the New York boys, the Peel boys, they was Moors, they scammers. They trying to come off that stuff to be something else. But they was scamming under being Moors, which is called dirty Moors. So I accept my limitation. I accept it. Because I know I can't find any Noble Moors. Because every time I bring somebody into my camp, they're scammers. And that goes back to, what's his name? I'll think of his name in a minute. They go back to him. He's got a big channel. But he can't deny he was trying to scam a man in a wheelchair that made $600 a month. He was like, oh, you can pay me $70 to $100. And you scammed him. Duke of Tears. A seer, Duke of Tears. You was scamming too. Paperwork. And don't say you know I'm making this up. You came on my talk show. Two shows with you. My brother can verify this because he was on this thing. He was the one that brought you to me. And it's no shade on my brother. But my brother had believed in that cat. And then we find out he's scamming. My brother found out too. These are just nothing but scammers. So if you scamming then, what you doing now? Can't nobody say I'm scamming. I ain't asked for anything. When people give me, donations, they give me donations. I've said before, I thank you for it, but I got everything I need. I mean, I joke about the car. I got a car. I joke about it. We got 2 cars, 3 cars. I joke about it. That's just a joke when I'm talking about the Mitsubishi. That's just a joke. I don't come on here because I need anybody to give me. I mean, if you feel nice enough, that's great. But if you don't, that doesn't take away. Some of these dudes live off this stuff. So I personally like people. I personally like you. And we could talk about so many different things. I am in this bitch who wants me dead. There you go. I am in this bitch who wants me dead. There you go. There you go. And that's kind of how I was feeling on the north side of Minneapolis. Being around all those black folks. I'm golden. You see, I'm this gold. See, my baseline is gold. Look at this. You can't even see the chain. Look at that. Look at the chain against my skin. Look at that. It's the same stuff. You don't even see it. You know that? You just see gold. Like all you look. You can barely see it because it's the same. My baseline is gold. Look at that tan today. That's just gold. My baseline is gold. What color am I? I am gold color. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal, but research takes a lot of time. And I know you guys research. But what you have to understand is we come from a reality generator. And the more you look up bullshit, the more it will produce bullshit. That's what you got to understand. You've got to understand the mind. Who's producing this? Who's making all this magic? This is not. I mean, Black Adam tells you your magic is weak. Even their weapons. They try to tell you they got an atom bomb. They ain't got nothing but napalm. They tell you that radiation will kill stuff for years, but they drop the atom bombs and you got people there 3 or 4 days later walking around taking pictures. And it looks like napalm. It looks like napalm. And maybe Nick Taylor will disagree with me, but them pictures I've studied of them going in there, number one, they shouldn't have been able to go in there so quick after the bomb is dropped, what we know about radiation. But if you look at the people look like they're burned by napalm. Dresden. There's no difference what they did in Dresden and what was done in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There's no difference. It was the same type of, again, magic. And they want to tell you they got atom bombs. Why ain't they drop more? Why ain't they drop atom bomb on Vietnam? Why ain't MacArthur drop atom bombs in China? Because they ain't have them. All they could drop was napalm. So I don't give a fuck. Y'all say, well, I've saw the nuclear bombs. I worked in the silos. Y'all was fooled with propaganda. You don't think you're fed propaganda when you're in the military? You don't think you're brainwashed when you go in the military? And you don't think that brainwashing stays with you the rest of your life? You think it just goes away? Unless you're a critical thinker. But still, that part of you that operates, depending on, again, how long you was in there, is still, that attachment is still there. My brother did 4 years. I can see where the attachment has left him. He's not regimented. But sometimes that military attachment stays with people even after they go out. And I've said this many times, the poor go into the military. Like I see all these military days and guys I grew up with, poor. I only know one dude whose people was middle class and went to the army, and that was the dude I call Super Nigga, Randy Hawkins. They went into West Point. That was the only person I ever saw that went into West Point as an officer that wasn't poor. But all these other pictures I see on Facebook during military day, poor people that couldn't go to college. Most people look at it like this. A lot of people look at it like this. You see people going to college and you still in the city. Now, even though General Motors paid swell, you was looked down. Like if I would have went into General Motors right out of high school, I'd have made tremendous money. I'd have made about 20 starting off. But on the other hand, it was like you stayed in Kalamazoo. You didn't never go nowhere. You were up in the factory. Do you understand the way it looked? The way people conception of it was? We had higher hopes for you. And you ended up in the factory, which really wasn't a bad deal because you was making, in 1979, you could make $20 an hour back then, which is making like $80 an hour today. That was the possibilities. And people still had that stigma working in the factory. And yes, it was dying down. Oh, I got more. I had to get that all out. Because, I had to break it down. It's like, I can't even hear these cats. But yet to hear people, I have to put myself on their level so I can hear you. So I can break myself down and go into flat plane, go into round plane. I can sit and see your Tartaria. I can see what you're saying. I can see it there. It's very illusional. It's very illusional. It's not a lot of substance to it. It's like, and again, like you go to a certain illusions, it's almost like going to Korea. When you cross the 33rd parallel and the Korea got all them fake towns. It's almost like that when you go into some of these realities. Some of these realities are realities. And some of this stuff is just so flimsy. And it's like, can you go there? Can you see it not just here and reading your little maps? Can you physically go where you say these stories happened in this civilization? Can you join the civilization? And when you join it, does it feel real? Because some of this shit you go into, it's like when I go into the Omen lands, that shit it's amazing. What's been exposed to me studying the omens and how the balls was created. The balls was created off of waste. That's how the balls was created, off of waste. the children got into where they was doing the silicone and they just had these globs, and the children was throwing these globs to each other and bouncing these globs. That's how it started. So do you see, I can go into this and experience what it was. I can't experience that stuff you say these maps and stuff is. I can't experience that. I can go to World War II and fight the Nazis. I can go to Vietnam and fight the Viet Cong. I can't go to Tartary and fight whoever destroyed it. So y'all be faking. Y'all be faking. Y'all be faking. Y'all hiding behind maps. Oh, this building is... You a bandwagoner. That's all it is. You got bandwagon joiners. Not researchers, bandwagons. Well, this is the popular thing, so... That's what children do. Children join what's popular. Not critical thinkers. Not people that can live this. You say this illusion is real, well, okay. Let's go check it out. See how much of it is real. We give each other stuff over here. There you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Where is the jacket? PJ. They got the blue collar and it says Minnesota. Oh, the Twins' new hats. Ooh, they got the white with the little red star. They got the blue M. Oh, the new Twins. And this Minnesota, their away uniforms just stay straight. Minnesota. Oh, they are so clean. Yeah, like you watch the Yankee games with them of the Yankees, the hats are clean with that blue, that M and the little star that represents the North Star and Minnesota cross. That is that's clean. I was looking at them hats today. I was like, oh, I'm eventually have one. You know this. But, yeah. So I had to get this off my mind. Anybody can come up here. If you got something more to say, you can come and hang out. You know where I am. You know where I am. I ain't hard to find. I'm on Facebook. My name is Brian. Brian Macon is my name. I don't care if you know my name. I ain't a hard man to find. I've been here for 16 years. You think it's hard for them to find me? If anybody wants to find me, any level, you can find me. I ain't hiding. I don't run. I don't say shit and like, I didn't really say that. I didn't mean it like, no, nigga, you got what I meant. I said exactly what I meant. I have to lower myself to hear some of y'all. Now, that's how you want to be. That's okay. We can still communicate. But just know that's where I'm at compared to where some of y'all at. Researcher. It's different when you come in. Adam is, in Latin, literally means cannot be split. A opposite. Tom, Toms, two drums. Thomas, Jesus twin. Yeah. That's where the first chronicle or the first book to come out of about Jesus is talking about, the doubting Thomas. That's the first story ever about Jesus. It's about Jesus and the doubting Thomas, his twin. And see, that's a copy of the Hero Twins. It's like even our language, the Brothers Grimm language, English we speak. Let me read this. Here you go. The Varja, some Buddhists, let me get over here. Some Buddhists are seen holding an object that looks like a double-headed scepter in one hand and a bell in the other. These objects are the Varja and the Ganta, respectively, male and female. Varja is the Sanskrit, literally meaning diamond-like, and the hard and mighty one, although the meaning goes deeper than this, carrying metaphysical significance. It is also known as the thunderbolt because it's destroyer of ignorance. The Vajra is an important symbol and carries complex meaning with its shape. The central space inside the Vajra indicates the dot or Bunda, the apparently most significant of the symbol that is possibly the most important. The Buddha represents the sphere of actual reality. And they're talking about in the middle. In the middle. On either side of the Bunda are lotus flowers, symmetrically balanced, representing the material world and spiritual world. The flowers each have 8 petals. The lotus flower itself symbolizes the plight of all human beings born into the mud or mire of the material world, but attaining spiritual realization by striving beyond the regions. From the lotus flower springs flames or spokes, generally 5 in number. This numbering might vary, but both sides are always symmetrical. The number 5 in this instance represents the 5 Buddhas and their wives and their collective energy. It is also symbolic of the 5 wisdoms, which are the wisdom of individuality, mirror-like wisdom, reality wisdom, wisdom of equanimity, all-encompassing wisdom. Collectively, the 10 prongs are a reminder of the 10 perfections, which are generosity, proper conduct, reunification, insight, diligence, tolerance, truthfulness, determination, kindness, and serenity. The prongs are also a reminder of the steps of the journey to enlightenment of the 10 directions: north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, north, south, southwest, and finally above, below, and the middle. They didn't put the middle, but the middle is represented too. Incidentally, the Tibetan name for Vajra is the Doja. The Indian city of Dojarine, famous for this tea. Oh, there it is. And I have, as I show you, this crystal, because this is quartz. Boom! And I have that, which means motion. When you see it, this representation means motion. You have the full power here. So I can bring the smoke. I'm a big boy. But it was like, what is it going to take to get to these people? Like, what is it really going to take to make them understand that you've got to look outside of yourself? And I'm just saying, look outside of your comfort. Look outside of where you're comfortable. And you have to think, why am I jumping on this bandwagon? That's what you got to look at. Why am I following something I wasn't talking about years ago? And the ones I'm talking about, I've been Facebook friends with y'all for a long time, so I know y'all wasn't up on this shit. Now you want to get up on it like you the masters of it, and you know everything. Yeah, you don't know enough. And I am on tonight. And I'm on. 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 Loving every minute of it. I am loving every minute of it. And I just feel high energy tonight. I'll show you something you can't explain. This is my crystal skull. I think this is a Chinese writing stone. I think that's what this is called, a Chinese writing stone. This is azurite. One time, These two stones were touching. When I pulled them apart, the other one moved with it. So I was grabbing this stone, or I was grabbing the skull, the other part was like stuck to it. Why would these two stones stick to each other? They were stuck to each other. It was like I pulled one, the other one dragged with it. They were literally connected. There was some kind of connection. These were on my table. These some kind of connected and magnetized to each other. Because I pulled one, the other one came with it. They're not dirty. There's no sticky stuff. You can't explain this. They were like this. I pulled one away and they stuck together. Why is that? Why is that? I know I'm probably low way over there. Masters of being hoes. They know nothing. Copy and paste. There you go. There you go. And that's what it is. It's bandwagoners. And PNF was the first bandwagon I saw jump on that. And all these other dudes and these sisters jumping on this stuff. It's like, wow. Wow. And they forget. See, that's the thing. Again, if you they wouldn't have taken my other channel. I had content since 16. My other channel, I had content. My other channel went back to 14. I didn't start doing content until 16. And I think it was the summer of 17 where I met Sly and started going on panel. Well, actually, no. When I was with Pomo and Benita Offset. You know, Talk Shoe. So that was what was on my mind tonight. Again, if a person has to lower themselves to hear you, you got to wonder, you know, why have you tied yourself to something? Why? And I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't mad. I ain't saying this out of being mad. Do I look like I'm mad? Like these niggas been saying this shit and I'm mad at them. I ain't mad. Am I mad about it? No. You can say what the fuck you want about me. I really don't care. Because if you do personal attacks, that makes it lower. That really lowers you. Because what I'm attacking is the content. Some of y'all got my numbers. You got my numbers. You know, Tantaria lovers, you got my numbers. Y'all know how to get at me. Y'all want to come and show these maps and talk about this stuff? Let's have at it. Anytime. Y'all got my numbers. Y'all know how to contact me. So you want to come on here and talk about this? Okay. I'll lower myself to talk about it. And some of you are at that level where you know you lower yourself to times so you can hear people. Again, to me, it equates like talking about a child. You know how you have to lower yourself mentally to understand what the child is trying to tell you? That's how some of this stuff comes to me. And that's misleading to people that don't know. They rely on you to do the research. So they jump on it because they rely on you to do the research. But if you're researching a rabbit hole, you're going to keep. You can buy books all day. This is how this fake system operates. It will give you what you're looking for. Woo! It will give you what you're looking for. That's what you got to understand about all being revealed. But you have to find out, where is that base? Why am I interested in this? Because if you interested in this because you getting likes and you getting dough, what led you to this? Because most of what I see from the outside going is a popularity thing. You got other people talking about it. And I know with Turtle Gang, that's what it is. You got other people talking about it. I know he gave in. He getting attacked by Dan Calloway's people, you know, and he's like, you know, he needs some relief. So he's like, okay, this is a Terraria building. You wasn't talking about it in 15 either, buddy. Melanated people wasn't talking about it. It was just these white boys. Bomber was the only one. I'd say Bomber was the only melanated person. But he came to he had his come to Jesus moment and said, because he's got a lot of salesmanship in his stuff. And this is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a hustler. Nothing wrong. Man, my fiance was watching that R. Kelly shit. It's amazing. They've given these people all this money to talk shit about this melanated man. Then you bring a melanated woman like Gayle King, which we know Gayle King and Oprah work for them peoples. All them years Oprah was in Chicago, she ain't never donate money to the Midnight League, the Housing Authority, none of that. She give money where she can do some, they can keep circling girls in Africa where don't nobody know about it. But she couldn't help Chicago. Same with Michael Jordan. He couldn't help Chicago. He could help anybody else, but he couldn't help Chicago. By contract, you can't do real help. Who has Tiger Woods helped? Who has Michael Jordan helped? Who has Oprah helped? You in Chicago, beautiful city. And the reason why, this is why they hate Chicago and want to make it one of the first prison cities. Surprised they didn't do it in COVID. Because DeSabo discovered Chicago. And no matter what you do, you can't put a European face and name on it. You can say, yeah, the mob and who owns his land. Yeah, you can say all that. But you can't say the heartbeat there is DeSabo. And of course, all your stories, well, DeSabo went all these countries. His daddy was European. And come on, we know your lies. We know your lies. But still. And Chicago was known. It was a place where people always congregated. But he was the first one to hustle on it, set up a trading post. And that's why the Standard Energy is so tight on Chicago. And that's why the military is so tough there with their black sites. Arming, throwing all them guns out there in the streets, making guns cheap and accessible. And then you put that joke of Beetlejuice as mayor. And people don't realize what being mayor compared to cities that have city managers compared to a mayor. The city manager has a greater power than the mayor. Most mayors are what is the word? It's old time stuff. There's some weak mayors is what it's called. Most cities are run by city managers and not mayors anymore. But Chicago, New York are still mayors run the city. They have managerial powers like a city manager. If y'all didn't realize what's the difference. Detroit is another city that the power reigns within the mayor and not the city manager. Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, the city managers run the city. They're more powerful. The mayor is just a symbolic symbol. He gets on the commission, I think, Kalamazoo Commission. So he has a vote, but he isn't the ultimate power. The ultimate power lies in the city manager. So, oh, what do I mean by prison city? I'm gonna have to go back to an anime with Batman. As Jeffrey was on, he would remember the name of it, but it talked about Batman in the anime series where they went into a prison city. Now, I'll go into George Floyd. What was going to happen with George Floyd with all this protesting? Now, we know George Floyd something was predicted because I personally know people that worked in that Target that's on the South Side. They start having, their deliveries was slowly stopped leading up to Floyd. This is from people that work at that Target. So what was going to happen is, and what's going to happen in the future is cities like Chicago, and Trump almost did it. People don't realize how close Trump was into making Chicago a prison city. And it give you an example of what they had to do with Floyd. What they literally did in Floyd is, see, we're 94 up here. We have 494, we have 394. 394 and 494 circle the city. You talk about the Beltway in New York, the Beltway in D.C. It goes between D.C. and Baltimore. Kind of similar, the way the 394 and 494 is, which is still 94, but they kind of circle the city. And what they did is they put a curfew on the city. Nobody coming in, nobody going out, unless you had them passes. So this was, well, two things. They were going to starve the city. If the National Guard wasn't successful, the starvation of the North Side, or the starvation of Minneapolis, was a real thing. They were not getting food. Shipments were not coming in during Floyd. So what could have easily happened, and what's probably going to happen is some of these cities that they say there's so much violence, well, Escape from New York is another perfect example. This is what's going to happen. I mean, think about if they do that to California, make California a whole prison state other than the rich people. Think if they round up all the homeless, say, okay, you want to live out in the desert? We're going to put you in a desert prison. So we're going to see prison cities. And if you don't have enough bread to get out the city, you in the city. And as the animation probably comes true, they're going to let these mafia gangs control these areas once they become prison cities. And it's not that you did a crime, you're too poor to move anywhere else. That's your crime, is you're poor. You can't move anywhere else. And that's going to go to the rich and poor. There's going to be working class people that have to stay in these prison cities when they become. And people don't realize Floyd, it was real close. Floyd, you kind of saw it. When the people was really starting to fuck them up and break shit, when they brought them troops in, it was very close to being a prison city, especially on the north side and the south side. So imagine any hood in any city, and they just bring in military troops to just that side of town to keep all the niggas in one place. I guess YouTube doesn't like nigga. I guess they not demonetize me, but add suitability for saying nigga. I wasn't even saying it. Richard Pryor was saying it. But any other people say it, million other people say it, and you don't say add suitability. And that's my only word, is nigga or motherfucker. You look through any of my shows, those are the only two words I really say is nigga and motherfucker. I got Richard Pryor saying nigga. So that's add suitability. Okay, that's all right. I like the views. So that's what I mean by prison cities. This is coming. This is coming. That's how they're going to control. They're going to, whatever happens, that's what they're going to do. They're going to lock people into their areas. Now when? Hard to say when. Hard to say when. Oh, what time is it? Yeah, I think I better go. I don't have a busy day. I don't have to set the alarm. I took all my medication. Across the nation. But it's funny. I can go to this Pinterest stuff and find damn near any story and start talking about this shit. I don't think very many people can do that. I don't think very many people can just randomly look through stuff and just being able to talk about it. Like have knowledge of something about it. Most people only have knowledge in one or two things. But how many people can just look at a page full of pictures and have a story about all the pictures? Like this is just a prime example. Most people would look at this picture and don't have much to say about it. Don't know who this is and how he's important. This is Mel Hein that played for the New York Giants. Again, leather helmet, early face mask. He played center and he played linebacker. But people don't know that Mel Hein was a famous National League umpire in pro baseball. So, I mean, I can keep going. And I know it's sports, but I can talk about other shit too. I know this is just sports, but it's like, it's not too many things I can pop up this shit and don't have something to say about this shit. What's this dude? Sugarfoot Anderson. That's a cool picture. Wow. Sugarfoot Anderson. Look at that cool shoulder pads. See, his thumbs together. Thumbs together. Looking the ball in, not catching it with your chest. And you know that? 00. This has got to be the high tops. I would dare say this is early 50s. Look at the cars up there. This might be, yeah, early 50s, late 40s, early 50s. I'll still say early 50s. 50, 51, 52. The helmet's a little more sophisticated, full pads. This might be pro. I don't see any, probably a little bit of thigh pads, but and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot toot, motherfuckers. Who is this? Who is this? I don't know him by picture. And again, you know how they mark us. How they mark us. How they mark us. You know, over and over again, you can see where 24 plays a part in our history. I mean, just on this page, it'll probably be another 24. Because that's the way they mark us and make fun of us. Tuzak. This is a college all-star game, which is not a thing anymore. The preseason game always started with the Super Bowl winner playing the college all-star game, or even going back further, the NFL champion playing in the college all-star game. This is John Matuzak, which later won a Super Bowl with the Raiders. That's why they used to call me ESPN. That's what they used to call me. That was one of my nicknames, was ESPN. It's like, damn, man, you just like ESPN. Because I remember this shit. And this is what Jerry Rice looked like when I played against him. Look how ugly and cheap these uniforms are. I mean, it's a miracle that he made pro ball coming from Mississippi Valley. Look at this. He's got the cheapest of the cheap, you know, Division II college stuff. Look at this. Cheap jersey, cheap pants, regular helmet, but just cheapest of the cheap. This is low college, really low college. This is Division II. Matter of fact, Mississippi Valley might have even been Division III. Now it's probably low Division II. Because for us to play them, we had to go down. The SAC was lower than the MEAC. That's what he looked like. He made pro out of this place. Makes you wonder. It's more than talent. Has to do with when you're born and all that. Has to do with all that. When you're born, your bloodline, they know all that when they choose these people. It's not just, you know, they're good in sports. Yeah, okay. A lot of people are good in sports. I wonder. I mean, trying to see. No, that's not it. I'm a non-spelling somebody. Let's see. Ooh. Turn myself back up. I was talking to myself. Let's see if this will come up. Ooh! Ooh! Okay. I always talk about Rashawn Vaughn. There he is. Play with the Bucks. Played with my son in high school. I've known him since he was in 8th grade. McDonald All-American. Played 3 years NBA. 3 years NBA. And at 25, he's been out the league 4 years. Number 1 pick. He was the 15th pick, so not in the lottery. Not in the lottery. Knew him since 8th grade. I was over that area where he claimed he played pickup ball. But he's played in Turkey for the last couple years. 6'6". And why is, we got all these Europeans in the league. Why ain't he still in the league? What did he not do that they didn't like him, yet they rose him to the heights? McDonald All-American, freshman of the year at Vegas, UNLV. But why is he out of the league? Explain this to me. Why is he out of the league? And they bring all these foreigners over here. And he has to go play over there. This might be overseas. Nope, this is high school. This is what he looked like when he played with my son, Cooper High School. My son and him played at Cooper. He played varsity as a freshman. This is must have had some kind of camp or something here. I haven't seen him. His dad, matter of fact, I went by the building where his dad works. I know his dad. His dad's a good guy. You know these group? Look at that. I knew it was the end of him when they brought him in. Why did they need him? Tony Snell. When they brought Tony Snell in, I knew his days was limited. Tony Snell wasn't shit. Journeyman. And look at him. Again, if it was an agenda, this dude wouldn't even be in the league. But they cut this guy. They make this guy suffer. They make this guy play somewhere else. They make him play somewhere else. He can't play there no more. His NBA career was 3 years. 3 years. He is like one of the top scorers in the G League. They put him in the G League every year, which is an insult. It's an insult to be in the G League. Messing around. This looks like at high school. Wonder where his brothers is. His brother's nickname is Nasty T. Roy. His brother's a police officer down in T. Roy is a police officer in Orlando. Dirty T. Roy was his nickname, though. Dirty T. Roy. But this is Rashawn Vaughn. Okay, this is Delaware Bluecoats require Sean Vaughn from Texas Legends. Played the last 2018. This is a long time ago. This is after he's been cut. Let's say the Delaware Bluecoats in this G League. The team acquired guard Vaughn from the Texas Legends. Team announced Monday, along with Vaughn, blah, 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 blah. Draft pick exchange for players to guard. And Delaware, the newest guard for the Bluecoats, Vaughn has played 28 games in the NBA G League in his career, averaged 12 points, 3 net rebounds, and 23 minutes. So, didn't do very good in the G League. Didn't really get a chance in the G League. So, this is Rashad Vaughn, y'all. Shotty, as the people know him. He's called Shotty Vaughn. Shotty. I'm pretty sure he's better than the people pursuing. They're very selective. Tony Snell is trash. Exactly. But when I remember seeing when they brought in Snell, I was like, oh shit. They on some bullshit. I knew it. When they brought Tony Snell in, I knew his days was limited. So he went in the league. He was young. He might have graduated at 17 because he was young. Even though, like, when I met him, he was in 8th grade. He was probably 12. No. Because even as a senior, he was young because he didn't go, like, he only played 9th, 10th, 11th. And I didn't tell Pete's story. Pete was his handler. Pete was his handler, and Pete got a job with UNLV, and then Pete got hit with a show cause. Yeah. Pete got hit with a show cause for taking kickbacks, which is legal now, but back then it wasn't legal. But yeah, Pete was his handler. He didn't do something they wanted him to do. Still, he has his soul. Yeah, well, I don't know. He made it to the league, and when you sign that first contract, you sign it more than just your first contract. So I don't know if he gets to keep his soul because he signed that contract. Now, he's probably not pension money because you got to get 6 years in. Or that's the old. Maybe even that's modified, but that's what it used to be. you had to get 6 years in to get money for life. Like O.J. Simpson gets $250,000 a year from his pension for life. And it's asset protected, so the Goldens can't touch it. They can't touch it. No matter what the civil liability says, if you have your shit asset protected, there's nothing they can do about it. And if you use Vegas bearer bonds, because it was funny before Obama became president, my asset protection business was crazy. Everybody was putting their money down in Bermuda. I mean, it was just interesting to set up these corporations in Vegas and the way you can splinter them. Because it's Connecticut, Wyoming, and Vegas is the only one that has asset protection. And the only country and the only state that allows bearer bonds. Remember the movie Heat? Remember in the movie Heat when they break in and they stop that truck, that armored car? They're not after money. They're after those bearer bonds. Because bearer bonds is, again, the bearer is who owns them. And that's how a lot of people would ask for protected. I had a lot of doctors that was married. And even though they signed prenups, they had that money that was asset protected. They'd put, like, if they bought business and stuff, they'd put it in their mama's name, and then they'd put it in a bearer bond. The company would be in a bearer bond. And if your mom has the bearer bond, she is the owner of the bearer bond. That's how it make it simple. And then Obama became president, and that shit went away. Everybody was hiding from that shit. It was hiding. And then after Obama, it was just interesting. It was interesting how that kind of day. It was like people was like before Obama, everybody selling that shit. After Obama, not so much. That stuff kind of, Obama clamped down on some of that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe he has it sold. I don't know. That first contract kind of does you. And you feel it. And it's like you don't, and that's what's interesting about that is to sell your soul for 2 or 3 years. That's what we have thousands of people do. I mean, look at the young man I talked about yesterday that played at LSU. He never even played pro. He just played college. But he played college at a big time program that every game he played on had a bet. Let me say that again. Every game he played on, Chris Jackson, Mambu, whatever his name is now, Shaq, every game they played in college was a betting line. Do you understand? Every game. They bet on college basketball and football since the 20s and 30s. Or let's just say the 50s is the baseline. That's 70 years ago. Like when you watch Sweetwater, one thing that people, if you read the book Connie Hawkins, Foul by Connie Hawkins, and you look at the scandal of the 1950s, the late 50s that went into the early 60s, there were lines on high school basketball. High school basketball during the 40s, 50s, and 60s was big business. It was getting high school players to throw games left and right. And they was getting college players to throw games. So this is how long it's been fixed. And then they don't get on the bettors that set it up. Jack Morales was the only one of the few bettors that they got. And that's what doomed Connie Hawkins, because he knew him. It's like my nephew now. One of the hustlers in AAU bought him a pair of shoes before the season ended. That was kind of what Jack Morales was with Connie Hawkins. Buy him a pair of shoes, buy him some clothes. People have to understand, Connie was poor of the poor. Had nothing. And you got to go play in these tournaments, you ain't even got new shoes. So Jack Morales was giving him a little pocket money. Connie never threw games. But yet they penalized him. Roger Brown never threw games. But it was all about territorial picks. And the Knicks was going to end up with Connie Hawkins, Doug Moe, and Roger Brown. The NBA did not want that. And Roger Brown has the best nickname ever. The man with 1,000 moves. You can't even put that on a helmet or the back of a jersey. The man with 1,000 moves. That is one of the best basketball nicknames ever. Hear LeBron going to Bronny play overseas. I don't know. I doubt it. I'm still sticking with the Gatorade commercial. The Gatorade commercial. Duke just lost their top recruit. Did y'all catch that today? Duke lost their #1 recruit. He's going somewhere else. Yeah, he dropped his commitment. I forget his name, but Duke's top recruit dropped his commitment. So he'll play somewhere here because he's not good enough to go to the league. He's not good enough to go to the G League. But one thing no one can deny, Bronny is fundamentally sound. Can I say that again? Bronny James is fundamentally sound. If you watch his game, his fundamentals is on point. Hard jab, step away. His fundamentals are there. So you can't deny that. Now, in a scripted way, but still, his fundamental basketball is there. High IQ basketball is there. So, well, I'm tired of feeling myself. I know I made some people mad tonight. They're going to make videos and shit. But that's all right. You know where to find me. Now, tomorrow, you know Friday nights, I do not. My fiance said the Friday nights is for her. You know, my cousin says, tonight, I'm all right. Tonight, I'm all right. That's what he says. Well, I guess this is it for tonight, y'all. I'm tired. Oh, yeah, tomorrow will not be on at midnight unless I'm on the verge of over getting it on. But more than likely, I'm taking tomorrow off like I do every Friday. But I will do the Big Eagle show in the afternoon. So you guys looking for me tomorrow afternoon, sometime, someplace, in some channel. I will be here somewhere. So I'll just pop up and let it go. So, do we need Richard Pryor in our life? I mean, do we? Do we need Richard Pryor in our life? I've already clicked out everything. I want to point this out. This picture right there is of Creed, and that I'm putting that in a frame because that is totally masculine. I mean, people slept on the Creed movie. Brothers made all the decisions. Brothers is in almost every scene. That's why Sylvester Stallone ain't in it. This is a movie about brothers. Brothers in power. It's the same thing with Black Adam. You had two superheroes as brothers in charge of shit. They didn't like that. As I said, Shazam is a Latino superstar or superhero. That's what they've turned it into. It doesn't seem like the original story was a Latino superhero, but that's what this Shazam is. Well, I'm going to just cut it then. Oh. Well, thank you, Brother Sean. Things move me in different ways, so I would give a spirit animal out tonight. And for you to use tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. No, I just want that. All right. There we go. All right. All right. So tonight, the spirit animal is owl. Why is this in there? Oh, that stays in the book. 21. 21, because I'm 21. When it's owl, it hits different. Owl medicine is symbolically associated with clairvoyance, astral travel, projection, magic, both black and white. Owl is called night eagle on several medicine wheels used by Amerindians traditions. Traditionally, owl sits in the east, the place of illumination. Since time immemorial, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark, and the unseen, waiting fearfully for the first crack of morning light. Conversely, night is owl's friend. Owl hunts its prey at night. Not only owl can see in the dark, it can also accurately pinpoint and identify any sound. This gives it a great advantage when seeking food. Owls are the night hunters. Some native people are fearful of owls and call its feathers deceiving feathers. As an owl feather is silent, you cannot hear owl when it flies, but its prey definitely knows when it strikes, for its beak and talons are razor sharp. Owl is oftentimes the medicine sorcerers and witches. If owl is your medicine, you'll be drawn to magical practices and perhaps explore the dark arts. You should resist any temptation to practice black magic. Yeah, okay, that's not really true. Sometimes you need a little black magic to kick ass, or any other art that takes energy away from another person or being. A vampire, energy vampire. If you have owl medicine, these night birds will have a tendency to collect around you, even in the daytime, because they recognize a kinship with you. It is any wonder that that in many cultures, owl is a symbol for wisdom. That has become an owl can see which others cannot, which is the essence of true wisdom. Where others are deceived, owl sees and knows what is there. So as others are deceived by Tartaria, Big Pontiac sees the falsehoods in it. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, has a companion owl on her shoulder, which has revealed unseen truths to her. Owl had the ability to light up Athena's blind side, enable her to speak the whole truth as opposed to only the half truth. If owl is your personal medicine, no one can deceive you. What they are doing, no matter how they try to disguise or hide it from you, you may be a little frightening to be around since so many people have ulterior motives which you might see through. If you are unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insight and ability for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. Owl medicines know more about an individual's inner life than the person knows about him or herself. If you pull the owl card, you're being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation. I wasn't silent tonight. I talked a lot of shit. To insult silent observation, to intuitive some life situation. Owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing the total truth. Owl can bring your messages in the night through dreams or meditation. Pay attention to the signals and omens. The truth always brings further enlightenment. So, for tomorrow, the owl is your card. And the owl is many things. It sees what others cannot see. So that is the medicine that you give for me tonight. I give freely. And in my final saying, again, I'm talking shit about people that I'm cool with. No personal attacks. I'm attacking your research. Because on this Tartaria shit, your research is weak. And you misleading other people. You misled yourself. And don't mislead people. Don't mislead people because you think you need to say something popular. You need to say something that what's happening now. That's what a lot of people do. They bandwagon jumpers. So don't get on this bandwagon of ignorance. That's what it is. You jumping on the bandwagon of ignorance. Because you just hearing on something and you think you a scholar on something now because you just hearing about it. And you pulling up maps and you pulling up these stories and these pictures. But you just talking about it now, baby. So that should tell you something. If you didn't know about this in 1415, And don't tell me this bullshit you heard about it. You wasn't talking about it then when Facebook Live came about. You wasn't doing no Facebook Lives about that shit back in 14, 15, 16, 17. All of a sudden, 23, you're a Tartaria scholar. Don't work like that, baby. You got to be consistent. I've talked about the Omen from day one on both channels. I've talked about the Sacred Ball Game on both channels. I'm consistent with that. You can't say that I've sent anybody on any wild goose chase because they're listening to me. Now I laugh and I spoof. It's times where I've spoofed shit, no doubt. It's just a joke. That's talking about the YMCA and the big machines and shit. That's just spoofing. It's just jokes. But for the most part, I bring you what my research shows. And I am imperfectly perfect. I am imperfectly perfect. That's how I feel about myself, and that's how you should feel. I talk about this all the time. When you leave your house, you got to be shining. It's like when you watch these movies and they say theme music. When you put in whatever music comes on when you get in your car, that's your theme music. Sometimes that beat will stay in your head all day. It pumps you up when you got to go in and, answer to somebody else. For me, I'm on. Cause I'm on. Cause I'm on. I'm on. What did it say? Shoulders, chest, shoes. What it be like? What chicks say, black folks say, all right now, that means hello. All right now. Watch out now. That's hello. That's the old black folks say. Watch out now. Getting down. What does that mean, Dad? Getting down. Like my son didn't know when Richard Pryor says, fade that nigga shit. My son didn't even know. He's like, what does that mean? Fade don't just mean fighting. It's someone, when I'm shooting craps, if I put down 50, will you fade me? Because all you want to bet to say I'm going to lose, I put down 50 here, you fade me. If another dude throw down 50 and say he fade me, I throw a 50 for him. Another dude throw 50 and say he fade me, I throw another 50 and bet him. That's fading. That's catching it. That's fading people during shooting craps. Now, in Michigan, we stuck dice to people. Sticking, I roll the dice into your hand, you got to catch them and you throw them. That's called sticking. Now what you see in the casino, they give you the stick, and no, we didn't trust people. And people could still fix dice with, even if you stuck them. Because when you stick them, you're just supposed to catch them and throw them. Because, casino got two things. You got to throw it over a hump, or you got to throw it and bank them. Because they think if you bank them, you can't fix them. I've watched dudes that could bank them and still fix the dice. They could throw that motherfuckers and the things they could fix it. I watched a dude that the dice wouldn't even roll. I watched a dude throw dice and the dice would just slide. They wouldn't roll at all. He could throw them out of his hand. They'd be shaking in his hand, and we'd throw them. He would throw them. It would just slide on the table. Of course, they would never count if he got a couple of licks like that, but he could throw the dice and they wouldn't even roll. He could throw them and slide them every time. Every time. Not just once or twice. He could throw them every time and the dice wouldn't roll. They would just slide. That's how good he could throw them. So, well, y'all, this is it. Throw the Kundalini out. Thank you for joining me. Hope I didn't upset too many people. But you know me, I really don't give a fuck. And YouTube, you can demonetize whatever the fuck you think, add suitability because of certain words, but yet you can show so much grossness on your product. You want to knock people down for saying certain words, but you show the grossest of the gross stuff on your product. and they make money. You show propaganda on your platform, and you let people make money on propaganda. And now you worried because a person says nigga, fuck, motherfucker, you say this is ad suitability. But you show the grossest of gross shit. You show demons on your platform. Do you stop there? Ad suitability because they demons? Because we see them all the time. We see all these demons on your platform. Do you stick it to them too? Do the demons get judged the same way? Or do demons get a pass? Well, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your host, Big Pontiac. Look for me tomorrow on the Black Dog Afternoon Show, Black Dog Hour. Till we meet again, say less.